Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Ummah Radio. You are listening to the Aqeedah class with myself, Abu Mus'ab. We are still busy doing the kitab known as Aqeedatut Tahaawiyyah of Imam Tahaawiyyah rahimahullah. In the particular print which we are currently using, you can download it from Ummah forum. In the Ummah Radio section, you'll find a thread called Monday Aqeedah Hadith class. In there, you'll find a link to the kitab, and you can then follow up the lesson that way. Alternatively, you can just listen in via the audio, whichever you prefer. Okay, so in any case, on the book where we are currently now, we are on page number 8. So, just to touch on what last time we were dealing with, the knowledge of Allah, and then we had moved on to Qadr, as you can say, the fate and predestination, and we had just completed that and ended up here on page number 8. So continuing on, it's dealing with the same topic, so without delaying, we can continue. He says, Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. He says, فهذا جملة ما يحتاج إليه من هو منور قلبه من أولياء الله تعالى وهي درجة الراسخين في العلم. He say, this is in a nutshell that which those people those friends of Allah whose hearts has been illuminated, this is in a nutshell what they have to know. Meaning, for every Muslim, this is in a nutshell what you have to believe in. All of this that has been mentioned previously in the last 45 points that he has listed, that is what he is referring to. And he says, وَهِيَ دَرَجَةُ الرَّاسِخِينَ فِي الْعِلْمِ, and this is the level of being from those people who are رَاسِخِينَ فِي الْعِلْمِ, firmly established in the knowledge, when you know all of these things. He says, لِأَنَّ الْعِلْمَ عِلْمَانِ, because knowledge is of two types. عِلْمٌ فِي الْخَلْقِ مَوْجُودٌ وَعِلْمٌ فِي الْخَلْقِ مَفْقُودٌ. You have one knowledge about the creation which is, as you can say, known and is available, accessible, and وَعِلْمٌ فِي الْخَلْقِ مَفْقُودٌ, and the knowledge about the creation which is inaccessible, which you have no knowledge about, basically. فإنكار العلم الموجود كفر وادعاء العلم المفقود كفر. He says, to reject the knowledge of that which is accessible, this is kufr. And to claim knowledge of that which you have, which is not accessible, this is also kufr. What this means, the knowledge which is known, we know that Allah is Raziq, Allah is Hafiz, and Rahman and Rahim, and all the other qualities of Allah, and so on and so forth. So this is the knowledge that we have. So if a person rejects anything of this, he becomes a kafir. Then he says, وَعِلْمٌ فِي الْخَلْقِ مَفْقُودٌ, and the knowledge about the creation which is lost, or rather which is inaccessible, which cannot be accessed. This refers to knowledge of the unseen. So when a person comes out and claims he has knowledge of the unseen, then this, according to Imam Tahaawiyyah rahimahullah, as he says, to claim this knowledge is also kufr. ولا يثبت الإيمان إلا بقبول العلم الموجود وترك طلب العلم المفقود. And Iman cannot ever be steadfast and established in a person except when you accept all the accessible knowledge and you leave off seeking that knowledge which cannot be obtained, which is the same thing. So as long as your Iman will only be firmly established when you accept all the qualities and things of Allah, and when you stop trying to run after things of the unseen. Now he moves on finally to a new point. He says, وَنُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّوْحِ وَالْقَلَمِ وَبِجَمِيعِ مَا فِيهِ قَدْ رُقِمَ. He says, and we believe in the lawh, the safeguarded tablet, وَالْقَلَمِ, and the pen that writes on that tablet, وَبِجَمِيعِ مَا فِيهِ قَدْ رُقِمَ, and we believe in everything that has been written on that tablet as well. فلو اجتمع الخلق كلهم على شيء كتبه الله تعالى فيه أنه كائن ليجعله غير كائن لم يقدروا عليه. if all of creation were to come together about something which Allah has written on this tablet, that Allah has written, it will take place, and everyone now come together in order to make it not not take place, then lam yaqdiru alayhi, they would not be able to do so. ولو اجتمعوا كلهم على شيء لم يكتبه الله تعالى فيه ليجعله كائنا لم يقدروا عليه. And if all the people were to come together with regards to something which Allah has not written down that it will take place, and these people try now to make it take place, لم يقدروا عليه, they will not be able to do so. جف القلم بما هو كائن إلى يوم القيامة. The pen is dried concerning everything that is to take place until the day of resurrection. وما أخطأ العبد لم يكن ليصيبه وما أصابه لم يكن ليخطئه. And whatever a person misses, it would never come to him, and whatever a person gets, he would never miss it. This, as you can just hear from the translation and even the wording of the hadith of this quote itself, you can tell that that he is basing it on the hadith, the famous hadith which Imam Abu Dawud and Imam Ahmad rahimahumullah and others also reported, which is the hadith of Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, lengthy hadith, that Ya ghulam inni u'alimuka kalimat ihfazillah yahfazuk ihfazillah tajiduhu tujak idha sa'alta fas'alillah wa idha ista'anta fasta'in billah wa'alam anna al-ummata law ijtama'at ala an yadurruka لن يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك ولو اجتمعوا على أن يضروك بشيء لن يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. That famous hadith where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam told Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas, gave him certain advices, skipping to the chase, to the part in particular, that if all the people were to come together in order to benefit you, they would not be able to benefit you except with that which Allah has written. And if all the people were to come together to cause you harm, they would not be able to cause you harm except with that which Allah has ordained to take place. And then the next part, as it continue on, that جف القلم بما هو كائن, the hadith is رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف, that the pen has been lifted and the pages have dried. And then the next part, وما أخطأ العبد لم يكن ليصيبه, the hadith on that is وما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك وأن ما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك, that which has missed you, it was never going to come to you, and that which has come to you was never going to miss you. So this whole part here basically is based on that hadith. Moving on to the next part, he says وعلى العبد أن يعلم أن الله قد سبق علمه في كل كائن من خلقه فقدر ذلك تقديرا محكما مبرما ليس فيه ناقض. Okay, I'll continue on. He says, and it is the duty of every servant of Allah that you should know that the knowledge of Allah, that قد سبق علمه في كل كائن من خلقه, that the knowledge of Allah encompasses and has already passed by all the knowledge of every single thing which is going to take place from the creation of Allah. فقدر ذلك تقديرا محكما مبرما. He says that it's the duty of everyone to have this belief and know that Allah knows everything, that every single last thing which is going to take place, it is all within the knowledge of Allah. And this part فقدر ذلك تقديرا محكما مبرما, this is a lot of synonyms, but what he's trying to say is that Allah had predestined and set everything out in a perfect, complete matter. ليس فيه ناقض, there is no nothing that can contradict it. When Allah has said it will be like that, it will be like that. ولا معقب, nor is there someone to bring something after. Maybe you do something and someone come and change it after you. No one can change or replace or do anything after Allah has done something. وَلَا مُزِيل, no anyone to remove it. وَلَا مُغَيِّر, no for anyone to change it. وَلَا نَاقِص, no one who can decrease. وَلَا زَائِد, no for anyone to increase. وَلَا زَائِد مِنْ خَلْقِهِ فِي سَمَاوَاتِهِ وَأَرْضِهِ. It cannot be increased or decreased, not in this world, not in the or increase in His creation in the heavens or the earth. As far as everything goes, Allah has said every single last thing, every single last drop of grain of sand in a desert. Allah knows every single last one of them. There is nothing which is unknown to Allah. He moves on and he says, وَذَلِكَ مِنْ عَقْدِ الْإِيمَانِ, and that is from the belief, the aqeedah of what Iman is all about. وَأُصُولِ الْمَعْرِفَةِ, and it is from the principles of recognition of Allah, that you act like this previously mentioned through the kitab. And he says, وَالْإِعْتِرَافُ بِتَوْحِيدِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى وَرُبُوبِيَّتِهِ, and the admittance and the i'tiraf and the acceptance of the oneness of Allah and His rububiyyah, His, as you can say, okay, English don't actually have a word which can translate the word, or rather I should say a translation which can translate the word Rab and rububiyyah. So normally how it's translated is, as you can say, the rububiyyah is the Rabness, the how to explain it now. Okay, normally people translate it cherisher and the nourisher and sustainer and the provider and all these sort of things. All of this is one small facet of what Rab is all about. Rab, like the word tarbiyah, someone who nurtures and who takes you along the way altogether. This is what is here. Any case, that's not the point. He continues on. He says, كما قال تعالى في كتابه وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ فَقَدَّرَهُ تَقْدِيرًا. Like how Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Quran that He has created everything and set everything out individually in the proper manner. وَقَالَ تَعَالَى وَكَانَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ قَدَرًا مَقْدُورًا. And Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Quran وَكَانَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ قَدَرًا مَقْدُورًا, and the commands of Allah is set out and known. It's known and it's set out and predestined, and that's how it will take place. فَوَيْلٌ لِمَنْ صَارَ لِلَّهِ تَعَالَى فِي الْقَدْرِ خَصِيمًا. So woe to the one who tries to be and to argue with Allah with regards to qadr, that's fate and predestination. وَأَحْضَرَ لِلنَّظَرِ فِيهِ قَلْبًا سَقِيمًا. Okay, so anyway, he says, so woe to the one who tries to argue with Allah over this issue of qadr. وَأَحْضَرَ لِلنَّظَرِ فِيهِ قَلْبًا سَقِيمًا, and a person starts delving into all of these things because of his sick heart. He says, لقد التمس بوهمه في فحص الغيب سرا كتيما وعاد بما قال فيه أفاكا أثيما. He says that a person who starts making his own assumptions and as a result of his assumptions and his claims and stuff like this, trying to understand the unseen, he has touched upon a very hidden secret, and he has returned after saying that what he has said as afakan athima, a sinner and a complete liar. Okay, moving on to number 39 now. He says, وَالْعَرْشُ وَالْكُرْسِيُّ حَقٌّ, and the arsh, the throne, and the kursi, the footstool as some people translate it, it is the haq, it is the truth. وَهُوَ مُسْتَغْنٍ عَنِ الْعَرْشِ وَمَا دُونَهُ, and it is free and independent of the arsh itself and all of that which has come underneath it. Number 51, he says محيط بكل شيء وفوقه وقد أعجز عن الإحاطة خلقه. This first part is something that I commented on actually some time back, and it's one of the points of contention amongst the scholars. Any case, he says محيط بكل شيء وفوقه, that he encompasses everything and he is above it. It is this word above it that all the debate basically comes from. The Salafis, they use this as a proof to say that Allah is above the arsh. But we say this is for makana and not for makan. Makana as in highness and loftitude and that sort of things. Makana and not makan, because Allah is not restricted or contained within His creation. Allah created time, Allah created place, Allah created everything. So Allah is not limited and restricted based on the creation. So anyway, محيط بكل شيء وفوقه, that Allah encompasses everything and He is above the arsh at the same time. وقد أعجز عن الإحاطة خلقه, and His creation is unable to comprehend it. Then he moves on. He says, وَنَقُولُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ اتَّخَذَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا إِيمَانًا وَتَصْدِيقًا وَتَسْلِيمًا. And we say, indeed Allah took Ibrahim alayhi salam as a friend, and He spoke to Musa alayhi salam directly. All of this is إِيمَانًا وَتَصْدِيقًا وَتَعْزِيمًا, as Iman, belief, and tasdeeq, that firm, definite conviction. And then lastly, the last one is wataslima, and submitting to Allah. He moves on, he says, وَنُؤْمِنُ بِالْمَلَائِكَةِ وَالنَّبِيِّينَ وَالْكُتُبِ الْمُنَزَّلَةِ عَلَى الْمُرْسَلِينَ وَنَشْهَدُ أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا عَلَى الْحَقِّ الْمُبِينِ. He says that we believe in the angels and the prophets and the books which has been sent down to the previous messengers, and we warn them, and the books which has been revealed to the previous messengers, and we bear witness that all of them were on the truth, on the clear, correct path. Okay, that is the end of number 53. Number 54, now we'll start dealing with another different chapter. So inshallah, I would rather prefer we end it on this point here, so that next time inshallah we can continue. So until then, we will end here now when we say وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.